I've been trying for the longest time to find good manga screen tone brushes like in Clip Studio Paint for Procreate, but all my efforts have been fruitless. I've basically given up. Until now, that is. I can't remember what I was doing, but I just thought to myself, why not look up one more time to see if there's anything good out there? And lo and behold, I found it! Now, I'm not sponsored. These are just really good brushes I bought from two different creators. The first one is Cozy Brushes, and the second is Clever Wizard. Now, Cozy Brushes is currently not on Etsy anymore because she got hacked, which is literally so sad. So please go show her some support over on her website where she is now and buy some of her brushes because trust me, they are very good. Look, she even drew these cute little crying Kirby's in the email she sent out. Now, the majority of all the brushes I used in this piece came from Cozy Brushes. I did use some of Clever Wizards, but it was literally so many brushes between the two of them, I couldn't even keep track of which ones I used. And I definitely could not try and use all of them in one video. That would literally be insane. But between these two artists' brushes, there's literally every screen tone pattern you could ever need. From the traditional dotted pattern to explosions to cherry blossoms to hatching to kia stars to stripes to leaves. I can literally go for a whole hour just saying all the brushes there are. I am now satisfied with Procreate because that was a missing piece. I love Procreate, but I always wanted Screentones in it, and at the time there just wasn't any creators making brushes for it, or if there were some, they weren't nearly as detailed and thought of such as these. Now I know you're thinking, why didn't you just use Clip Studio Paint? Well, for starters, at the time of me searching, it wasn't available for iPad, and I sure wasn't going to reach into my empty pockets and pull multi-bands from it just to buy a Wacom tablet. And when it did finally come out for iOS, I tried it, but the interface was just so small that it literally made my eyes hurt looking at it. Like the buttons slash action icons were just so tiny. And maybe it was because of my iPad, but my iPad is a pretty decent size. I mean, it's not the Goliath one, but it's also not the mini, so it shouldn't have been a problem. It could have been just user error, and I just didn't know how to resize it to make the interface larger. And then there's Ida's Paint. Yeah, I tried using that one to test it out because it had screen tones on it, and they were really good, honestly, from what I remember. I just didn't really like the interface of it either. It reminded me of, how should I say this? It reminded me of the old computer game websites of the 2000s. And don't get me wrong, I loved me some computer games, but it just seemed old. And I also didn't have the patience to get used to a new program, especially when I already didn't like the interface design. So Procreate is just perfect for me. Super clean and simple interface, maybe a little too simple. I remember the first day I tried using Procreate, I opened it up and I was like, where the heck is all the buttons? I was so used to Clip Studio's bazillion options. So seeing almost like nothing there really confused me at first. Going on a little tangent here is some lore between me and Clip Studio. We've actually known each other for a long time, probably a lot longer than most people nowadays. We were childhood friends, really good ones in fact. We play almost every single day. I even knew him when he would go by Manga Studio instead of Clip Studio Paint. I can't, not me trying to act like this is a real person. But yeah, my sister and I really enjoyed drawing, and we somehow, I still don't know how, convinced our dad through many business meetings, and I air quote like business meetings, of how and why it was a good investment for him to buy us a Wacom Cintiq tablet. Yeah, I really don't know. We even said it was the only thing we want for both of our birthdays, and how it would improve our art skills. We just share it, and amazingly enough, he actually got it for us for Christmas, I believe it was. Our little 10-year-old selves were so happy. We couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. Thank you, Dad, for all that you've done and continue to do for us. You'll never know how much I love and appreciate you, and for both you and Mom for supporting me throughout all these years of my art journey. But yeah, we got Manga Studio as well and use that mug every single day. To be honest, almost over 50% of us using it was just us playing around with the 3D models, especially the anime ones. It was like a video game. But as the years progressed, there came the time when we sort of outgrew digital art and just continue on with traditional art such as markers and my sister, her paints. On top of that, the Wacom unfortunately somehow broke. Like the screen would not turn on. The system would, but the screen would remain black. Honestly, it's probably something that can easily be fixed now, but I don't know. And I don't feel like trying to ship it off somewhere for someone to fix it. I have my iPad, so I'm good. And we gotta blame someone, so we blamed our little sister because it was fine until she started using it, and then she said it wouldn't work. But nah, honestly, I don't believe it was really her. The mug was years old, and we didn't quite actually take the best care of it, because we left it in dusty places, and I'm pretty sure we had to have dropped it at least a few times. That's why we weren't really mad at her, because we knew it was probably just as much our fault as it was hers. All in all, if I had to choose another art program if Procreate stopped working, I definitely choose my old love, Clip Studio. Now, I was thinking about going and recreating redrawing a manga scene from a book, from a manga, but I don't really have that many manga to reference from, and the ones that I do, they use very simple plain pages just using black ink and not that many variety of screen tones. And I did look on Pinterest, but if you think that I'm gonna try and recreate a scene like these, y'all, mind you picked the wrong person to try to do that, because that would literally take me days, and I already had to spend too much time stalling and procrastinating just making this one. So that was a hard path. I'm not skilled enough for that.